Actually, it's quite a funny story why I joined Alpha. I first went to church in Shanghai. Let me start again. Well, actually, it's quite a funny story how I joined the Alpha course. To be honest, when I first stepped into a church in Shanghai, I had no clue what to expect. I didn't know anybody there. I just went there. I followed my friend. She always was so happy talking about church, and from where I come from, church is something very different than usually people don't associate words like fun, interesting, or like going there with church. And so I said, oh, I'll give it a try. And then I went there, and then I ran into this girl. She's also from my neighborhood. She's from Germany, and she told me how awesome Alpha was and that it changed her life. She met great friends there. And then I said, well, I haven't met that many friends here in Shanghai, and I've got nothing to lose, so why not do it? And then she dragged me to the registration table. I signed up, and I felt a little bit like talked into it, but then like after 2-3 times of doing Alpha, I was so impressed, and I just fell in love with the course. Also with the people there, it was just an awesome experience. And not just the people, it's also the things you learn, the things it makes you realize that how the world can be, how important God is to your daily life, and also how God can influence your life to have a much, much better life. And this is what Alpha helped me realize, that if I have a life with God, with a relationship with God, it's just amazing. It's a drastic difference, but it's a better change. For instance, every time when I'm lost, I feel like I always have someone I can ask. But it's not just someone I ask, it's asking God, like the creator of the universe. He knows the answers to everything, whether it's where to go out for dinner, or whether to go for this job or change careers. It's like, he knows everything. And if I embrace my relationship with God so far, He only has been kind, generous, and I only got wisdom out of this entire experience. And since then I became a Christian. Like before, back home, I was officially a Christian, part of the Catholic Church, but I never really embraced it. I never went to church. I always said, oh, church is so boring, I don't want to associate it with this superstitious, old-fashioned organization. I don't want to be part of that, that's not me. But here in Shanghai, the church is so much more than just a place where people gather together to talk, to listen to stories. It's a community, it's a family. People are very kind and loving. You share stories, you make friends, you learn about God, you learn about how to live your best life. And it's not just blah 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 like at so many other places. It's like practical knowledge that I can integrate into my daily life. It's not that they're talking how things were done like 2,000 years ago. They really explain like how the Bible, how God can help you to have a great life here, now in Shanghai, not in Israel 2,000 years ago. And this is one thing that I also really, really loved about Alpha. It's so practical. It helps me in my life here in the 21st century. I feel like it's a very tailor-made solution, if you want to use business terms. And I've always been a fan of tailor-made solutions, because it's not a mass product, and this is what I really, really like. And all the wisdom that I got out of this program, all the miraculous things that happened to me, like every time I went to the Alpha course, I always had a funny story that God revealed something in my life that I had no clue where that came from. For instance, one day, let's say within the course of 2 weeks, I was thinking about taking up Spanish again. And then one day, miraculously, I got a letter from a Spanish school to my post box. Even though, they don't know me, even though it's just mass advertising, I got it, and the school happens to be next door. And then something else with Spain happened, and so I realized maybe one day my destiny will lead me to Spain. And this is just one of the many things that I realized during Alpha, and I can only recommend it. It's such a great tool. It helps people. Also, what I like, it's very non-believer friendly. It's not that they start Exodus chapter 1, study this by heart, next day we'll have an exam on that. It's very easy, and it's just very easy to judge us, especially as a non-believer, all these fancy words, Genesis, Exodus, sermon, Holy Spirit. People don't know what these are, and some of them are quite afraid of them, but they really embrace it like in a very simple language that people understand. And it's not just they are doing all the talking, it's a dialogue. This is what I really enjoyed about it. It's so interactive. It's not just them talking, we listen, we take notes, we go home. It's they talk and then they ask questions like, how do you feel about that? How did you experience this in your life? Is there anything you don't understand? The Alpha course really is something that can greatly help people of all different kinds. Like in my group we had people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different countries, and we all had a great learning experience there. And since then we're all passionate churchgoers. We embrace God, we try to live the best we can with Jesus as our big role model, and we try to live up to his standards. And yeah, this is I think Alpha is one of the biggest things that positively influenced me in Shanghai. And yeah, every time I tell this story to my friends back home, they always say, oh, that's so funny that you found your way to church in China. Who would have thought? Because Christianity is after all not the major religion here. But it's just happened to be here, and it was a great thing, and everything, yeah, just the place was right, the time was right, the people were right. It's just perfect. Everything, yeah, came back together.